So today we will talk about quite interesting and new topic in Web3 actually. So it's the soul-bounded tokens. Yeah, so that's the paper from Vitaly Buterin that actually described the mechanism that needed for decentralized society. So it's quite an emerging topic. And the big part of this topic actually is identity. And we fighting with identity topic in a SSI, at least myself, for 2 years. And actually the main question before we will jump to the soul-bounded tokens, actually it's the answer what actually identity is. Yeah, and imagine that you have your wallet somewhere on Ethereum, so you have your seed, yeah, and this seed is enough to generate you the private key, and as a result you have the actually the public key, and it's what your Ethereum address is. So actually everything is built on the public-private keys cryptography. So if you distribute somehow your keys, yeah, you are fine. So actually the address of your wallet is the part of your identity, but it's not solving the answer who you are and what kind of properties connected to you and so on. So for example, if you're talking about the SSI, so it's a self-sovereign identity, it's a philosophical concept and the ecosystem that actually operate with the idea that you owner of all your data, you control your data, and actually it's two major concepts there. One major concept is the verifiable credential. So it's the temper cryptographically protected document that could give the structured data. We always have somebody who issued this credential, so the issuer, and actually the person that owns this credential, so it's the holder. And actually this credential could describe some properties of you or some events or social interaction or whatever. And the SSI actually say that only the owner of the credential could decide if he wants to share this with somebody, and so on. That's why we have some complex procedures that verifiers actually goes to the holder and ask them to share some information about them, and you decide do you want to share or not. So if you can see, it's quite a complex and tricky process. And another part of the verifiable credentials is the distributed identity. So it's the DID. Decentralized identifiers, and decentralized identifiers is quite an interesting concept itself. So it's allow you to solve quite common problems. So how the verification of the VC happens, that we have the signature, we need the public key to calculate and compare with your signature and say that yeah, that's actually valid. So, and we have the problem of actually distributing the public keys. So the decentralized identity allows you to distribute your public keys. So you have the quite long identifier that could be resolved with the help of blockchain or off-chain, how you distribute your public keys. So you already have your identity somehow, so you could distribute your public keys and so on. But you know, as you could see, this quite complex concept that we need to validate the issuer, we need to validate the holder, we have quite complex flows, and all this ecosystem is relatively young. And actually Vitalik came with a much simpler and elegant concept, but it's still pretty much similar to the VCs, that you could have the token, and this token could describe something about you or your reputation or your social interaction. For example, you made some nice YouTube video, then some people could like it or write the comments or prove that actually you make something interesting in for example SSI space or whatever, or you attend some conference, or you quite good developer that help other developers in ecosystem, or you, for example, working for some DAO company and make some work for them, and then you prove your skills. So you have a lot of facts about you, around your social interaction and your social context. And now we could build your identity based on these facts. And what's the soul means? Soul, actually, it's the similar somehow to your wallet and your public address, but it's more complex because it's actually the aggregation of all the social interaction facts. And Soulbound token is the same as the NFT, so it's some kind of not fundable token that prove that you own something unique, that you could not exchange. So it's not yet another Bitcoin, it's something unique that you own, and we have the proof of ownership. But without Soulbound token, only you could own it, so you could not transfer this token to somebody else. You still could create the wallet, create the soul, and somehow give it to other person, but with the broader social context and the broader facts about you, we could build the KYC around your social graph and your interactions that will easily prove that you dramatically changed your behavior, or it's not you anymore. But it's a quite interesting topic to solve. But if we get back to the original idea of these tokens, first of all, they not just some fixed static files or VCs, they are programmable, so it's more the contracts. It's the fact that you could obtain it from different souls or from different companies or from different identities, so you create your social graph and your social interactions, and only you could own it, and you have no way to transfer it to somebody. And this idea already quite mind-blowing, because based on these tokens you really could have the snapshot of yourself and prove some facts about you. The more interesting thing that right now all these tokens are public, so they store it on blockchain, and it's make process of verification and validation much easier, because it's completely transparent who own this, it's your address, who give it to you, so it's you just could check the transaction, and actually some the fact about the data is stored on blockchain, and we could quite easily verify who is owner, who give it to you, what kind of data it is, and it's absolutely public. So it will be some challenge how to maintain and how to reward the fact that you are ready to share some negative social interaction ratings. So this is quite interesting topic itself, but based on these tokens we could build the reputation systems, we could build the social interaction, we could build the loans, because right now we have no way to build any kind of a loan system in a web3 world, and we solve the much bigger topic, and this topic is always around for years. So it's the question of the identity of yourself, identity of your organizations, and so on. So I believe that this topic will be one of the key topics for next couple of years, and it will be a lot of experiments around, and you know that if you have the tokens, you have the programmable way, and you have the contracts that's quite powerful itself, and it's much wider than, for example, just static verifiable credentials or any other kinds of mechanism that we currently have. So I really suggest you to read the paper. I will include the link to the paper to this video. The nice thing that authors of the paper really focused on the use cases and all other things, and quite interesting idea that I really like around this souls and soul-bounded tokens, that you will have the much wider social recovery. So imagine what will happen if you accidentally forget the mnemonic or forget the password to your wallet. And here we have the possibility it's nothing new. The social recovery exists for a long time, even for the verifiable credentials, but here we have much powerful mechanism that you could recover not from some individuals in your social graph, but from the groups of individuals or the people that share something common with you or will be in the same DAO, for example. So everybody who work in the same company could recover part of your key, or everybody who some members of some club, or maybe the latest 20 people that you make the photo with them or whatever. So this complex conditions could help you to recover your keys, and it's a huge topic itself, how to recover the lost wallets and lost identities, because if you lost your soul, it's it will be the end of the game. So this self-bonded tokens really unlock this possibility too. So read the paper, write some comments, provide your ideas how we could build on top of it, and I keen to see more experiments in this space. Choose.